distinction too. Can I get a witness in here? Look at somebody and tell them, but you're not going to have it if you haven't made preparation. Give somebody a high five. Tell them, better prepare yourself because the day is coming. Oh, I see anticipation. I see preparation. It's like a bride that's already been dressed to set before her husband. Look at somebody and tell them, I don't know about you, but I'm preparing myself. That's why I can't hang out with everybody. I can't go to certain places. I can't do certain things. I can't think. I got to think a certain way. I need to talk to somebody in here. Look at somebody and ask them, can you wear white? Y'all quiet. Look at somebody. Tell them, I don't know about you, but I got some house cleaning to do. Can I get a witness in here? I see preparation. My brothers and sisters, watch this. Listen to what he says here. He says, I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men. You got to get in the word. He says, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God. Look at somebody and tell them, I thank God that he dwells among us. Can I get a witness? Tabernacle, they're going all the way back to the Old Testament when God's glory and God's presence was in the tent. But I need to talk to somebody. You don't have to wait to the by and by, mothers. You don't have to wait to the pie in the sky. You can have God tabernacling among you right now. You ought to put your arm around a mother and say, though your mother is gone, God said, I'll be present with you. God said, I'll never leave you. He said, I'll dwell with you. Can I get a witness in here? Look at somebody and tell them, every now and then I can feel as a bride the presence of God with me. You see, when you was in the hospital and everybody went home, God was still with you. When you got laid off your job and didn't know how you was going to make ends meet, God was with you. When your mother died and you didn't know how you was going to hang in there, you wanted to jump in the casket with her, God said, I'm with you to comfort you and to console you. You ought to put your arm around somebody and tell them, God didn't come just to stay for a little while. He come to be a habitation among you. Give somebody a high five and tell them, I don't know about you, but I need him with me every day and every hour. Look at somebody and tell them, that's good preparation. You got to call God down into your circumstances. Anybody is a witness in here to know that when you thought you were by yourself, he was with you all the time. Give somebody a high five. Tell them he was there. Thank you, James Moore. All the time. I see anticipation. I see preparation. But I can't leave you, brothers and sisters, without telling you about celebration. Look at somebody and tell them, I don't know about you, but I'm waiting on the reception. Can I get a witness in here? Look at somebody and tell them, this is not a reception here on John.R. and 6 Mile. You're going to be talked about sometime. You're going to be lied on sometime. You're going to be mistreated. You're going to be persecuted. Can I talk to some real brides in here? Can I get a witness in here? Sometimes folk, because you're too holy for them, even your own family members ain't gonna want to hang out with you. But it don't matter to me. I'm a bride waiting on the bridegroom. I thank God that I am a bride. I'm not running away from the bridegroom, laying and playing with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Y'all quiet in here. Can I get a witness? Look at somebody, tell them celebration coming. Look at them, tell them celebration. That means to observe or commemorate with festivities. You do remember when I told you earlier about William and about Kate, how they danced, how they had song, how they had music. Well, let me tell you, those who party hardy, those who just living for the weekend, those who cabaret, those who go out to the club, we be clubbing. Let me tell you, that's not nothing compared to the celebration that we gonna have as the bride with the bridegroom. You ought to give somebody a high five and tell them, you talking about dancing, you talking about songs, you talking about food. Give somebody a high five and tell them, I don't know about you, but I'm waiting on the celebration. Watch this. When you get to the celebration, listen to what he says. And God shall wipe away all your tears. Look at a mother right now and say, I know you're crying. You've had to cry brownie tears. But look at a mother right now and say that he's coming. Watch this now. To wipe the tears from your eyes. I'm getting ready to close this thing. Look at the mother and then look at the brother too and tell him when he come in the celebration, there'll be no more death, there'll be no more sorrow. Now look at somebody, tell them there'll be no more pain, because on this planet, on this earth, you're gonna have to cry sometime. Can I talk to some real folk in here? Can I talk to somebody who know about crying? Well, peep this out, homie, you too. It don't matter about how strong and how hard you are, sometime you gonna cry. Anybody ever experienced pain? Anybody ever experienced sorrow? Well, give somebody a high five and tell them it's a countdown to the royal wedding. And I don't know about you, but I'm waiting on that day when he shall wipe away all my tears. But not only do I see that the former things are going to pass away. In other words, those things that's here on this planet, John said that they're going to pass away. I want you to understand that not only do I see celebration, but also I see perfection. Look at somebody and tell them that one day there's going to be a perfect world. Look at somebody and tell them one day this world that we're living in is going to pass away. Look at somebody and tell them that there is the day coming when there will be no more impure governments. There will be no more corrupt religions. There will be no more bad leaders. Look at somebody and tell them, I'm looking forward to that perfect day. Listen to what he says in verse 5. He says, and he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. Look at somebody and tell them, I'm tired of this old world that I'm living in. I'm looking forward to a brand new world. Can I get a witness? And listen to what John said. He said right here, for these words are true and they are faithful. Think I ought to tell a woman in here, there have been some men in your life who haven't been faithful to you, but before you point the finger at the man, you haven't been faithful either. Yeah, but I want to tell you this afternoon that there is one who is faithful even when we have been unfaithful. Can I talk to some real people in here who really recognize that you have not been faithful in your Bible studying? You have not been faithful in your prayer. You have not been faithful in your church attendance. But how many know God? How many know God? How many know God have been faithful to you? Put your arm around somebody and tell them God will be faithful. And not only would he be faithful, the record said that he'll be true. Look at somebody and tell him he's faithful to his promise. Anybody standing on his promise as a bride, look at somebody and tell him he's faithful to promise and he will perform it. That's good, brothers. And not only is he faithful to his promise, but he'll be true to his word. Do I have a witness? Gotta close here now. But my brothers and sisters, I see there is coming a day with no more terrorism. There's coming a day, yes, where there be no more ungodliness and evil. Can I get a witness? All these things will be eliminated and will be erased. The false prophet and the antichrist and the beast that have been walking around carrying, can I get a witness, irritating and agitating God's people, one day will be done away with. I see in my mind Satan now chained up for 1,000 years. I see now hell has widened itself. I see, can I get a witness? I see that there was, watch this, when William and Kate had their wedding, he didn't invite, Kate didn't invite her cousin. I don't know why she didn't invite her, but I want to tell you, brothers and my sisters, there's going to be people who are not going to be invited. Can I get a witness? Give somebody a high five and tell them I got my invite. I got it on a Monday. I got it on a Tuesday, Wednesday. I got it on a Thursday, Friday. I got it on a Saturday. I got it right early. I said it right early. Early. Sunday morning, did you get your invite? Well, you don't believe me. Look right here in the 21st chapter. Let me point out those who didn't get an invitation. Listen to verse 8. He said, but the fearful and the unbelieving and the abominable and the murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and adulterers and all liars shall have their part in the lake of fire. In other words, the unbelieving, the fearful, who did not accept Christ because of what somebody else might say. Then he said, look right here, the unbelieving is like Kate's cousin. They were not invited. The immoral and the impure, those who kill people and take other people's lives, whoremongers, homosexuals, lesbians, adulterers, and those who practice fornication. They're not going to be at the wedding. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? They're going to be cast in hell. But I need you to put your arm around somebody and tell them, I don't know about you, but I'm so glad that I got my invitation in time. Do y'all hear me? Got to close here now, but let me close by telling you, listen to what he said. He said, I will